So my second lightning talk, this is another little project I've been working on for the past few months, along with, it sort of came out as a natural companion project to the Lisply MCP. But it's actually a full Emacs configuration. So this is good for someone who hasn't used Emacs at all and they have no configuration. It's great because you clone this repository and there's a setup script and you'll get all your .emacs.d and everything. If you already have a config, then you have to be a little careful, but you can still use this. You just would merge your config. So it's an opinionated Emacs configuration. It's very well suited for terminal mode Emacs. That's what I use most of the time because I'm jumping in different servers. So I don't usually run a graphical window, but it would work with graphical window. It includes the work in progress of another Lisply backend for Emacs Lisp. So the idea is that we have a second Lisply backend where the LLM using the same Lisply MPC can call Emacs Lisp code, for example, to edit Lisp files, which can be much more efficient than using the normal file system MCP tools for editing. They're using sed and grep and all this line-based stuff, and it can get pretty messy. So if we can teach the LLM nice Emacs Lisp, it can be much more, I think, efficient for editing Lisp. So it contains a slime setup out of the box. So as soon as you configure this Skewed Emacs, you now can do MetaX Slime Connect and connect to any running server, which would be up and running automatically if you run the Lisply MCP with the default. You'll have that. So then you can use this to attach to it with Slime. And then the server org mode is there, maggot, just a bunch of stuff I use. So it's I think and it also downloads, it installs everything, all the package managers. You don't have to think about anything. And it also has a nice bash shell configuration that fixes all the colors for different background colors and things like that. So this is Skewed Emacs. Repository URL is GitHub. I don't know why it didn't get in here, but it's, again, gornskew/skewed Emacs. Skewed Emacs. Setup script will override existing dot files. But to run the setup, you clone the repository and you do /setup. And that creates all your dot files. And then you log in again and start Emacs. Actually, the bash makes an alias E. If you just type E, you get an Emacs client in the terminal. So that's my shortcut. So main thing it gives you is an Emacs.d, but it also gives you a bash profile. And you can put personal stuff in .emacs local. So the MCP is, again, we've been through this before, so I won't go through it again. But again, it probably will be broken out as a separate project at some point. But right now, part of Skewed Emacs is another MCP server for Emacs Lisp to let the LLM send and evaluate arbitrary Emacs Lisp code. Mainly, I would think for editing would be useful. And then we also fix the key bindings for Windows. This package also gives you caps lock to control for Windows, Emacs-style navigation keys across your entire Windows and web browsers and so on. You can use all the same Emacs keys. That uses auto hotkey. And 29 plus obviously recommended. None of these other things are required, but for the whole package that I've kind of described today, they are. So that's about it. Questions?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask how well does it work with structural editing, such as power edit?
It probably would. I don't know. I haven't used Power Edit yet, but there'd be I don't think there'd be any incompatibility. It's just loading normal Emacs packages. It doesn't have Power Edit by default right now. Power Edit's built in, right? Okay, I don't know.